Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. And yes, we are playing in the city of Chaosgrad, and this little excavator is going to come and build this road over here. Okay, so that's what's going to happen over here. There's still some tons of gravel required, but that road will get built. We've also got a piece of construction underway over here. This is a brick flat, and we've kind of got most pieces sorted. Yeah, all of this we're producing at the moment. Yes, yes, I remember now. We built the steel mill, which was kind of where we ended the last episode. So what's happening over here, it's linked up to the coal line, and we are purchasing a little bit of, through this button, we are purchasing 30 tons of iron. So we're not actually getting our own iron to come in. So we're just purchasing some iron at the moment. Just so that means, and we're basically with very low workers, and we've dropped the productivity a fair bit, but we're not close to the 60 workers that we could have over here. We are producing some steel, because steel is also required in our construction industry. As we go back over here, we can see that we've got our boards and our steel and our bricks for here at the moment for the brick laying phase of the construction. There's like 80 work days left. So hopefully we'll get a few extra workers to come and work the site so that thing can speed just up a little bit. Then what will happen is we'll get another 1.8 tons of steel. We'll get some 3 more tons of boards, and we're going to need some more workers to finish off that construction. So we'll just let that construction keep going. It's actually working pretty well now. Okay, so that's the thing. The one thing that we don't have though is, if we look at our economy, we are spending a lot. We're spending a lot on all kinds of stuff. Imports of resources, vehicles that we've bought, but that's okay. That's just a one-off thing. Foreign manpower, that's quite interesting. And then immigration invitations, which is not actually happening at the moment. In terms of from the west, we've got just power, I believe, is what we're importing. But anyway, what I'm trying to say over here is that, in a very convoluted long way, that's still happening, is that we're not making any money. So we've got a bit of an industry sector going up. We overspent a fair bit on all of this infrastructure, which in retrospect probably was the wrong thing to do, because that's probably $500,000 or something, or even up to $1 million by itself, just in conveyor belts that's hanging out over here. So that's the wrong thing to do. And learn from my mistake. Don't do it yourself. What I'm thinking we need to do though is get ourselves a little bit of an industry that's going to get us some money. So we're not going to go very complex in the chemicals industry or something. Steel is one thing that we could actually export and get a fair bit of money for. So yes, that's something we could do. The other thing that we could do is look at alcohol. Alcohol is fairly simple to make. So we could start exporting steel. Maybe once we start producing it in a little in bigger chunks. But I'm keen on looking at meat and alcohol. Probably alcohol is one of the better ones for us to be exporting. Problem with alcohol though is that it is much cheaper to export it to the Soviet bloc than it is to export it. Well, to be honest, what we could do is we could even buy and sell. We could even buy and sell. Actually, that could work. That could work. What we could do is we could buy and we could sell. From the Soviet bloc, we could buy something like electronic components, and then we could sell it back to the West and just make it a turnaround. But the difference in that is so substantial that we could make a ton of cash. Look at that, electronics. That's almost 500. I wonder if we can do something like that. I want to set up a bit of a way we can actually make money. So what I'm wondering about is, first things first, and I'm going to just fully build out these roads here. And somehow, okay, let's not do that. So let's stop that. Let's switch on the wireframe, and we'll find ourselves a way in which we're going to come up here. And then maybe go around there. It feels like that's the kind of thing that we gonna need to do. So let's start that journey, and let's not auto build it. Auto build it is going to be problematic. So let's start that journey, and I'm gonna build it with this, so that oh, that's actually working for us to do that kind of thing. A bit of a contour road. Aha! Aha, aha. That is going to get us over here. Perfect. So now we can do probably a little bit of an extra town set up somewhere over here. But what I'm also keen on is starting to bring in this road right there, through there, through something like this, and then no. Something like that. There we go. So it's a little bit of a contour road through the hills over here, but that'll connect the Soviet bloc to the west. And it's a pretty pricey piece of road, but I'm going to build it nonetheless. We are in need of it. I am purchasing it, so the entire thing is going to be constructed with cash. So we're not going to use our own construction team to do it, because let's face it, it's pretty tedious and slow. I mean, they've spent how much time trying to build this little gravel piece over here. What's going on over here? Are we at least in the last phase? Building of the rooftop is kind of what we're waiting for at the moment. We need some steel. Oh yes, and so yeah, oh, look at that. The building is kind of over here already, but it needs a roof. Okay, well that's fine. We're waiting for some materials that's going to come in here. So now this is built. There's something that I'm quite keen on checking, is to see if we can. So I'm keen that we maybe look at some kind of a, so let's just switch off the wireframe. I want to do maybe farms, okay, and do the alcohol industry or something. So that's the one thing I want to look into. The other thing I want to look into is just to see if we can, if we build a bit of a warehouse over here and we import electronics or something to that effect, what that actually means for us. So yes, a warehouse, a meat storage. Yeah, I'm quite keen to do that. Let's have a look. We don't have to use it in the end, but I'm keen. If we build, we do that, okay, over there, right? And we say, come on buddies, build that for us. So we'll build a warehouse over here, and we're probably going to need to link it up. And what we'll do is we'll link it up like so. And go ahead and do that. It's a bit of a better road. So get that built. Now what I'm going to look at is saying, let's purchase ourselves some... Okay, let's hang on. Before we do that, before we do the purchase, let's have a quick look. Oh, and we could obviously do this with the train as well, but with it so close, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. I think we've got a bit of electronics is the one that I'm going to test this with. Okay, so what I'll do is I am going to, and we need to just bear in mind that we're going to lose rubles. So this is going to be a way for us, so we'll do it at small scale. And at the same time, what we probably need to do then is give ourselves another little piece of road somewhere. Okay, so we'll maybe start ourselves a bit of something here. That might be a little extreme. Anyway, we'll do something like that. We'll get it built, and at the same time I'm going for a vehicle depot. Maybe a little something like that. So let's purchase that, and we'll purchase that. And the idea here, building is without a power supply, so I might have to set up power over here, which is probably going to be a little bit problematic. I might be able to get it straight from here though. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to purchase a vehicle that is covered hull, and I believe that's for electronics. Okay, now what I want is something that's going to give me the most amount of electronics, 3.5. So the 4.5 over here is the most to date. That's like nothing. So yes, this 4.5 seems to be the one. 4.2. We don't need it to be very quick though, so I think that is fine. Let us do that. Let's purchase one of these, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, come in over here, and I'm going to say, let's going to purchase with rubles, like 20 tons. Well, 20 tons then. Let's auto purchase that with rubles. So here it comes. It's coming in. And then what I'm going to say is I'm going to say, buddy, you're going to come here and go there. You're going to load us up with electronics, and you're going to unload all. Wait until you're loaded, and wait until you're unloaded, and start the journey. Because what I want to see, okay, so now this one does how much? Oh yeah, so anyway, so it'll just slowly do its thing. What I'm keen to see, so I'm going to let it run for a little bit. I'm keen to see it actually, whether that actually makes us any money. Because at the moment, the purchase plan is costing us, yeah, a fair bit. But I would expect our selling price to be so cool that we're going to make tons of money. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. If we do that, we're going to immediately start seeing this one pop up. So the thing that we will need to do, so this is a good setup, I think, which I'm going to keep running for a while, so that we actually look into making some dollars. And I believe that'll see our dollars come in fairly quickly. Yeah, see, so there our dollars are coming up quite rapidly now. The problem is our drop in rubles is going to be quite substantial. So the alcohol industry, or what other industries am I going to use for selling us some rubles, or getting us some rubles? They're quite interested in steel, so that's pretty good, and we've got that kind of set up. Maybe what we should do is we should just start ramping up production at the steel plant and then start selling that. Unfortunately, there's nothing that's more expensive so that we can kind of do the same thing in the backward variety. We need that. Is this even relatable in terms of cash, or am I actually losing money this way? I don't know what the exchange rate is. Is it kind of 1-to-1 or something like that? But there's nothing that's more expensive here, here than there, because that's what I'm going to need to do. Yeah, so if we look at alcohol, which we wanted to do, that's not really good. Steel, on the other hand, is something that if we can produce it at a large enough rate, we can make some money out of it. But I don't know we can. I don't think steel, we don't have enough workers here, so we could ramp this up. But in the meantime, I am suggesting that we do the alcohol industry as well. So if I do that, if I go for agriculture, that's not the one. If I go for agriculture, can we do some large fields over here? That's a bit of a mountainous area. So there's a little bit of room over there to do something. And then alternatively, we can look into doing a little something over here, but certainly only just a few. We could also probably try and run a few fields up this area and get more people in this area to sort it out. I think that's probably a better way of doing it. So if we do something like this, right? And I'm not going to auto build it. Yeah, of course not. So let's say we do, so I'll push it out a little bit this way. Something like that, for instance. Okay. So if we say we're putting the agro farm in there, then what I want to do is do a grain storage. And the grain storage can provide me with some of the basics that we will need. But what it doesn't seem to do good, where it seems to fall down, is that it doesn't actually allow me multiple outputs. So what I'm keen to do is actually hook this up like so. So we'll get a grain storage over there. And then the next thing around is we need either the food factory. There's a building that's on fire. Let's quickly pause it and we'll go and have a look at where this building fire is. It's the same one we had previously. Switch off the wireframe and let's switch this on and see. We should be getting out. Yeah, here comes the fire truck. Hopefully that will solve our building fire quite quickly. Fire extinguished. Beautiful. Our brave men and women of the fire department have sorted things out. Perfect. Okay, back to this. So now we've got this going on. The next thing that I'm looking into is then in the food industry is not the distillery. The distillery is going to get me some stuff potentially over here. Yeah, so the distillery will have to do something like that. And then we could still take some of it out for food production using trucks. Okay, and that's something we can do. So let's do something like that. We'll build all of those. We're too far away from that bus station, so we might do our own little bus station over here to feed all of these guys. So that's something we can do. Give me some gravel roads. I believe that's connected. We'll connect this one, and what we'll do is we'll also connect that one. Good stuff. At the same time, we're going to want to do some of these. Oh, actually, before we start building anything, let's see about connecting these up. That one and that one. Please go ahead and build them for us. Thank you so much. And we'll go back and we'll get some of these pathways in place. Something like that, because I'm going to want to do the bus stop over here somewhere. Maybe closer to that. See how that works. Okay, now let's quickly go ahead and build all of our roads. Thank you very much. Let's build them. Let's go over here and we'll build all of that. And now we'll quick build all of these buildings. Yeah, we'll just keep wasting our money, our rubles. Perfect. So now all of that is in place, and what we could do is actually that probably wasn't necessary to build it straight away, but what we're going to need here is some fields. So I'm thinking we'll run a little gravel road, and before we do that, let's have a look into our fields. Okay, so with that in place, now let's go back. We go to the food industry and let's see what size fields can we actually squeeze. So up here, we could squeeze some nice big fields. Okay, something like this we could. Then smaller fields. The question is, can I do smaller fields like this? So let's do 1, 2, 3 smaller fields. And a pretty big one. Pretty big one squeezed in there. Okay. And then I'm gonna go with the smaller fields again. Maybe something like that. 1, 2, like so. Okay, so let's see about, we'll need to see about getting our road through here as well. So if we do that, okay, so that's going to be our starting fields over there. So let's get our gravel road to come up here, and of course it's not working because the climb is too big. Gotta be kidding me, right? Because of this little hill thing that we've got going on over here. Okay, well, let's try and level this a little bit. Oh, we've got a bulldozer, so we're leveling that free of charge, I think. I think that's what's happening. I think that's what we're doing. It's just a little bit painful. If I say we auto do it with this. Aha. Okay, let's try the road thing again. It was just about to work, right? There we go. So that'll work. Ooh, and now we're building it. Nice, that's better. Now this is a bit of a... See, this is the problem with this, right? We're struggling tremendously just even to get these things to tie in places that can work. So if I would want to pass it by over here, right? I'll have to, well, there it builds. The question is, will I be able to tie in these guys? So that's been built, has it? It's painful, really. It is painful. Let me demolish some of this. Like so, and we'll build that back up again through here. And now we should be able to tie that in, and we should be able to tie that in. So that'll work for us. I just need to tie these in somehow, and that's really the problem, isn't it? Yeah, this is painful. It's really painful. But we can't build it because there's a big descent, and you can't even see it, right? You can't even see it. If we show the wireframe, it's like, it's so minor. It's really so minor. Can we do the mud road? No. It just doesn't want to work. We'll have to set it back a little. So if we, yes, let's remove it. This one, I'm not sure we can set back, but either way, if we can't access it, it's no point in having it there. So let's get those fields out there again, and this is why you just have to constantly be... Well, if it ties in there, it's okay. The other one I want to do is tie in... Yeah, this one's not going to work. So we're going to skip that one there, and we're going to place it over there. There we go. So now we've got a ton of fields going on over here. In this area, we've got no workers going on. What we're going to need to do is get ourselves some implements. So I'm going to get the, hang on, let's see, is there some big 20 kilometers an hour and 6 tons, and the ones we have over here is 20 kilometers an hour and 6 tons, right? Seems to be either or, right? Let's just grab ourselves like 2 of them. We want to grab ourselves some covered trucks as well to pick up crops, and we want them to be quick and big. Yeah, something like that maybe. Or like this. Grab ourselves 2 of them, and then we need some of these, and I want them to be a little bit quicker, so we'll grab ourselves 2 of these as well. Perfect, so everything is fine. All we need to do is let's switch off this so we don't keep building stuff as quickly as we're doing it at the moment. Let's reduce our capacity over here quite substantially. Over here, we don't actually need workers over here. So everything is now, the implements are doing its thing. Okay, well that's as simple as that then. We don't need workers at the farm. That's interesting. Okay, so how many implements do we have? We can actually increase our implements, but that's okay. Over here, we don't need any workers to do this piece. We are connected to power over here, I believe. Yes, we are. That's connected to power, but I don't think that needs anything. And this at the moment is not doing anything. But yes, alcohol production is the one for us. So what I want to do is I want to see, is there some workers? There's plenty of workers over here. I'm going to purchase ourselves another bus. And we're going to get that movement up and running. So let's get another bus over here. And what this bus can do is it's going to come over here. It's going to come in. It's going to grab ourselves some workers, please. And then it's going to go to this facility. Well, it doesn't have to do it now. So let's stop it all. We're not going to do it. The bus is bought, but we'll leave it there for now. At the moment, all of this needs to be growing, right? So it's sowing at the moment. All of that is underway, so we can just keep going on that. I think it's pretty good fields that we've got laid out over here. So the farm is okay, and we've got a spot where we can pick up crops for the food industry, should we need that in the near future. How is the steel mill doing? The steel mill is producing a fair bit of steel. How did our construction here do? Did it finish? It did, and it's working. So what's going on? There's all kinds of stuff where people are struggling with a variety of things, saying the kindergarten is full. It's just because it's not got enough staff, but it is there and it is available. This is also kind of working, but we need teachers. Everything else is kind of underway. What's happening here? We're having some workers over here, but fairly few. This road been done. Excellent. Let's continue the construction. Oh, what I need to do. You know what I want to do? I want to actually put an extra construction industry over here. Well, construction office over here, because I think that is quite appropriate for us. So infrastructure here is a problem. Let's build that one. What is required? I'm gonna quick build this. Okay, so it's got access. And now what do we need over here? We can actually fully construct this. So let's get our other office to come and construct this for us. While we do other things, we'll let I should switch off the wireframe. It frustrates me a little bit. So let's grab this guy. We're saying, guys, we're gonna assign ourselves a construction project over here. So please send everybody over here so that you can come and work. The other thing that I'm kind of keen on doing is actually getting ourselves a little bit of a footpath. Yeah, a little bit of a footpath to go over here. So build that so at least these guys can walk down there. That is a crazy footpath, but anyway, you should be able to make it. Nice, so now we've got an extra house over here. The question is, did we get immigrants from it? I don't know. We're definitely seeing a fair bit of income over here. I think, though, we might be losing. So what's going on? Our sum, in terms of dollars, is going up. Oh, yeah, it's like we're over there, but yeah. Some in terms of rubles are going down. We need to get an industry that's going to make us money in terms of rubles.